Hey there friends, how's it going? Richard here. In this video, I'm going to walk you through an automation that I recently built. What this automation does is that it scrapes the blog posts from groove.cm. If you have a Groove website, whatever the case is, and then you can store it in Google Sheets or some other backend if you're trying to move your website. So what's going on, just to let you know why I need to do this, is that I'm moving my website from Groove somewhere else. Unfortunately, Groove, like the way it works is that the blogs are in a separate module, and there's no way to export the posts. So they were kind of locked in there unless I go ahead and copy and paste. So just this is the way the post page works, right? The blog, all my posts are here, and then when you go into each post, like it's there, but there was no way to like export them in bulk. For instance, in WordPress, you can use a plugin to download all that information, right? Posts, titles, whatever, but with Groove, it didn't have that functionality. So I'm thinking, I'm trying to move my website over somewhere else. I need to figure out how to do this. One way I could have done it is very simply go to each post, copy and paste, right? But that was burdensome. There's also issues with like when you copy, it adds extra maybe spaces in Markdown and whatnot. Whatever the case is. I just wanted to get this done fast so I can start moving it over to this new website and build that out. So then I realized, wait a minute, I can try to automate this, right? Just get it done in a couple minutes, whatever the case is. So I hopped onto TaskMagic, which is a tool for automations. And what it helps you do is that if you do stuff on the internet that requires clicks, typing in some information, whatever the case is, you can build an automation to handle it for you. So it's very versatile and takes care of a lot of things. For me, I'll be honest, like I've been sitting on TaskMagic for a while wanting to put it to work, and something didn't click for me until like yesterday. And so I want to do this video, walk through the steps, maybe share some clarity for those of you. One, if you're looking to move away from Groove, and then two, if you're kind of stuck with TaskMagic or maybe another automation tool. I think the same kind of things help. So for this automation, what we're going to do is we're going to scrape. First, we're starting here like the blog page, right? We're going to scrape all of the blog. These 4 things are here, right? For each post, we're going to scrape the image URL. We're going to scrape the title. We're going to scrape the meta description and this publication date. Those are the 4 things available. So we're going to scrape them. We're going to create, that's going to go into a Google Sheet, and then after that, we're going to use that Google Sheet with our titles to then scrape the actual article content one by one. All right, so we got to do each step at a time so that it doesn't get overwhelming, because it's easy to say, I just want to scrape and then get the article. But I think one thing that tripped me up was just doing that at large, break it down into buckets, makes it a lot easier. So for that, first thing is we're going to create a Google Sheet. I've already went ahead and named it GrooveBlog scrape. These are the 4 things that I want to get: post title, meta description, publish date, and featured image URL. That's what we're going to do. Then after that, you know what? Let me just do it now. We're going to do, actually, let me leave it till later. One thing that you do have to do with TaskMagic, let me just open TaskMagic here. This is desktop, there's a cloud version as well, so you can, whatever it is, if you don't have an account, head to taskmagic.com, sign up for an account, whatever the case is. Again, there are other automation tools that can do it. I just found TaskMagic is really cool because there's this click to record function. Let me show you. Let's get to building this automation out. All right, there's different ways to build an automation within TaskMagic. Like other programs, software, you can use there's built out modules, like connect this, connect that. Unfortunately for me, I found like some of those connectors start asking. Once you start asking me for JSON API, I'm lost, unfortunately. So that's that. Guided templates and things like you can click, build it out with like more broader parts. I'm gonna use the web because this thing, what happens is that as you're clicking and then pasting or doing whatever, it will record the steps for you. So I don't have to worry about JSON, API, any of that, HTTP. I don't have to worry about that. So we're going to click web. And are you logging? This is if you're going to start off. So the first step inside of TaskMagic is going to be like a website that you're starting off with. Like, where do you go? And if you have to have a password or so to start there, username, password, that's where you have to handle this cookie stuff. For us, we're going to start on my blog page, so I don't need to deal with cookies. So we're going to just say, not on this one. Okay, cool. You know what, let's just delete this automation. These are 3 that I've done before. We can just delete this. I'm going to start from the beginning. Delete new automation. We said we're going to do the web. I think the camera is messing around with my ability to use TaskMagic. I did it before. Shouldn't be struggling like this. New automation. So we're gonna use the web. Not on this one. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. It seems like there's a conflict with the recording software and TaskMagic, but not a problem. We're gonna get there. All right. So what happens when you start a new automation with TaskMagic? It's gonna open like some Chromium browser, which is where it does all of its work. So the first thing we're going to do, step 1 is going to always be a website. We're going to start off at a particular website. So we said we're going to use my blog. Okay. Get that stuff put together. I'm going to bring this window back up so you can see what happens. So our first step is already recorded, and everything we do is going to be seen inside of this screen here, this window. All right, so like I said, what we're going to start doing here is we're going to just scrape 4 things. Bam, 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 bam. I just want to remember what I put here as the title, meta description, date, URL. Title, meta description, date, URL. So let's go back to here. We're going to scrape a list. Okay. And then as you can see down here, there's like a column. It'll start creating columns to scrape whatever data you're going to scrape. So the first thing we said was post title. We're going to click. Okay. Add new column. Second one is going to be meta description, I think. Oh, no, not that. Okay, so there we see. Just to run through, make sure it's different. There we go. All right, so as you can see, it's getting all of the different meta descriptions. Next column was, I think, the date. So let's just grab the date. All you got to do is click. As you can see, it gets all the dates, and then we're going to add one more, which was the featured image, and that's going to be scrape image, right? And just to make sure, TZF, WZ. So all that's lined up. Great. So now we're just going to confirm. And there we go. We have the list already done. So we're going to say, I'm done here. Okay, let's dismiss this. And then first thing we're going to do is set up a trigger. Just to say when to start. In this thing, I'm going to say it's a list. Continue anyways for now. Sorry about that. And right now we're not looping is if you we'll use this in the next step. But for now we'll just leave this as it is, right? Okay. Manage the loop. Okay. Now the next step we have to consider is like where are we going to push this information we scraped, and that's going to be the Google Sheet that we created here. So we're going to head to down here inside the automate. Let's do I just want to rename this before I forget. So let's say TaskMagic Groove Scrape Demo. Just so I know where I'm living in. All right, next we're gonna send this to Google Sheets. Okay, so we're gonna go and grab our URL and head back to TaskMagic. Oh, the other thing is you have to share it with automations@taskmagic.com. That's what I forgot. Okay, we're gonna share it. Okay, and then hopefully now we should be fine. Let's retry that. And it works. Like not got the invite to edit. So we're good now. We're gonna take sheet 1, which is what we're still working on. And as you can see, it's mapped out the data. So in step 2, if you remember for our automation, the first thing was the title, then the meta description, then the publish date, then the featured image. So we're good. Lined it up very well. Okay. And now let's just play the steps, see what happens here. And if you want to see what's going on, you can click the run here. The window pops up, and as you can, this is right now TaskMagic in operation doing the scraping that we talked about. Hopefully there aren't errors. Okay, there are some errors because as you can see, we only got 5 results here instead of the 40 that we were looking for. So what happened here? Well, I did that. Okay. I'm gonna run it again. This is doing it in real time, baby. See, it recognized 41. I don't know why I didn't scrape all of my. Okay, so we're gonna go back. Okay, got it. All right, so here's what we got to do. This was an issue I was having earlier, and the workaround was I'm going to clear that. No problem. So what we want to do is we're going to go back to TaskMagic. Let's just recapture the steps. Okay. We got a new browser. And this is automation in the wild, baby. Things are gonna happen. So we're gonna take our and we're gonna go to our pop it up again. So we're back to our URL here. Now, the issue is there's this button here, more posts, and this tripped me up earlier. Let me just close this out. So what we want to do, one workaround is just to go through all of the, get down to the bottom of the page or something like that. There's certainly another way to do it, which I'm trying to figure out so that we don't, if you have 1,000 posts, it doesn't make sense to scroll down, like that defeats the purpose of automation. So we're gonna, for the purpose of this, we're just gonna hit more posts like 10 times. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna click an element, and the element we want to click is this. Confirm. Now I'm gonna do that duplicate step. Okay. Just keep duplicating it. So that would take us all the way to the bottom. Let's just go with 10 of them. I don't care. Duplicate step. Duplicate step. Alright, that should be enough. Next, what we're going to do is scrape our list. So we're just going to do the same thing we did before. Scrape a list. Okay. I think it was title. Column A is going to be the title. Okay. New column was the meta description. Add new column. Column C was the date. Add new column was the image. Scrape image. Now I think I'm done. Okay, we're gonna go just max this out real quick. Trigger, sure, continue, and then we're gonna say send to Google Sheets. Okay, so step 11, 12, 13, 14 looks good. Okay, let's run. Okay, we're gonna get out of here. This is what we're running right now. And again, I think I want to get the sheet up. Let's see what happens here. Oop. Okay, let's look at our results. And as you can see, we've got all of our posts here. Gotta wonder why I didn't get the meta description. Is there a meta description there? Where is it? There's no meta description. Okay, my bad. That's that. Cool.